Have you ever told yourself, "I'm fine being alone," yet deep down, you knew it wasn't the full truth? Maybe you've said the words, but your actions told a different story. For women over 50, this is more common than we admit. Loneliness is real, and sometimes, without realizing it, we fall into a cycle of push and pull, wanting love, but also keeping it at a distance.
Peace, love, happiness, real talk, grown love, nothing less. Life's just starting, feeling our best.
Let's be honest, loneliness can feel heavy, especially later in life. After divorce, heartbreak, or years of raising children, many women crave companionship but are hesitant to admit it. We might say, "I'm okay on my own," but then we find ourselves filling the empty spaces with long phone calls, constant visits, or even leaning too much on friends or neighbors to ease that ache inside. I've felt this myself. The truth is, loneliness is nothing to be ashamed of. It's a human need to want connection. The problem comes when we don't recognize how it shows up in our actions. I once had a conversation with a neighbor who's been through her own share of heartache. She told me she's fine being alone. She insisted she doesn't need anyone. Yet, almost every day, she knocked on my door, looking for company. At the same time, she was talking to someone new, a man she seemed interested in. But instead of moving forward, she blamed her past, her ex-husband, her failed relationship, her disappointments. She gave this new connection just enough attention to keep it alive, but not enough to really let it grow. This is what I call the push and pull of loneliness. You want love, but you're afraid to let it in. You crave connection, but you hold back because the past still lingers in your heart. And if we're honest, it's confusing, not only to the other person, but to ourselves. So why do so many women over 50 fall into this pattern? First, past trauma still has a grip. When you've been betrayed or deeply hurt, you start protecting yourself in ways that keep love at arm's length. Second, fear of repeating mistakes. You've already lived through pain, and the thought of going through it again feels unbearable. Third, the need for control. After years of feeling like life or love was unpredictable, saying, "I'm fine alone," feels safer. It feels like taking your power back. But here's the truth. These protective walls also block the very love and companionship we long for. Sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. So here are a few signs to look out for. You tell yourself and others you're happy being alone, but your actions show otherwise. You give just enough to keep a connection alive, but you never fully open your heart. You spend more time talking about your past relationships than imagining a future with someone new. You lean heavily on friends or neighbors to fill the void, instead of investing in deeper romantic connections. If this sounds familiar, don't beat yourself up. Awareness is the first step to change. So how do we break free from this push and pull of loneliness? 1. Be honest with yourself. Ask, what do I truly want? Am I protecting myself, or am I keeping myself stuck? 2. Release the past. Stop measuring every new connection against old wounds. What hurt you before doesn't have to define what's ahead. 3. Take small risks. You don't have to jump in all at once, but try opening your heart just a little more each time. Vulnerability is scary, but it's also the doorway to love. 4. Balance independence with openness. Being strong and self-sufficient is beautiful. Loneliness may be real, but it doesn't have to control your love story. Don't let fear of the past rob you of the joy of the present. Remember, it's okay to want love, and it's okay to move forward. When you release the push and pull, you give yourself permission to experience connection in its purest form. This is the season of your life to embrace love, not to run from it. Peace, love, and happiness, always.